Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Cloud Show. This time I have taken the show on the road for a recording over in Latin America, in Guatemala to be specific, where I took a look at the technology scene over there, what it's like, and I talked to a really good friend about what the cloud really means for a Latin American country. So welcome to the Cloud Show, and please welcome also the star of the show tonight, Oscar Garcia Colon. Hello, Oscar. It is such a pleasure to sit here with you in Guatemala and talk about tech, the things that we really love to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right. So tell us first, before we get into the whole cloud and what it means for Latin America, tell us first just a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about Allied Global.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, thank you, Magnus, to be here with us. It's such an exciting time, talking about cloud, talking about technology and all the things that is happening, how the world has been enabled in a different way. And let me tell a little bit about who I am and what the company does. So I'm the CTO of Allied Global, managing the technology, but also director of one of our vertical, which is technology services, which we provide services, tech services to the whole world, basically, the whole world. So Allied Global, it's a company based out of Guatemala. We have footprint all over the place. And they're super, super supportive of doing tech, which is absolutely fantastic.
And I think that's really cool because honestly, I didn't know much about the Latin American or the specifically Guatemala tech scene before I came here. I had no idea. But I'm so happy to visit you guys and see that you have a lot going on. And I believe that the technology space and technology services is a huge and growing and a very important economic movement in Guatemala, right?
It is. And I'm telling you, when we started this business, you cannot start a business on technology and actually go to market thinking that you can just do it on your own. You got to do it with your people, and the people have to have talent. And there is something that we have here is talent. And I'm telling you, you started centric, meaning Guatemala, but as we spread, we can see the talent in Latin America. That's why we are across all Latin American countries. Of course, we're based out of here. That's where we're born, and that's where my heart is at. Doesn't mean that we cannot find talent, and there is talent. And I know it's very, very little maybe words out there because mostly being in other places, but we are up to the challenge.
I've noticed because since I've been here, I've met some of your people, and I know that they're mostly like other tech people that I meet in Europe or in the United States, similar kinds of people. But of course, coming from Guatemala, so I find that very, very interesting, and that change. I mean, Guatemala has grown rapidly financially over a reasonably short period of time.
Correct.
Your growth is fast. I'm from old Europe, right? Our growth was decades ago. We're not growing fast anymore, right? We're done with that. But countries like Guatemala are kind of not catching up, but you're trying to get in the game. And so tell us about the interesting thing about the cloud. Kind of what has that meant for Guatemala and for the tech industry, for in terms of enablement for you guys to get into the tech game?
Sure. Let me tell you, when they said the cloud is the world computer, when they mentioned that scientist said that, I truly believe it. And for us, it means enables our people to show up the world because it creates digital bridges. Right. And those digital bridges like we have today, right? Yeah. It goes from here to the United States, to Europe, and to all the world. It was really enabling. But there is an important piece into it that we needed to talk about. So back in those days, prior to the cloud, what happens is that you have to procure a lot of hardware. You have access to expensive things, right? That makes it very difficult for high-skilled engineers to get skill into it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you need the hardware, you need the metal to actually do the work.
That's right.
If you don't have access to it, which only the top tier countries had it, right? It makes it difficult for engineers to actually grow. Yeah. But when the cloud came in, and then you suddenly have access, for a short period of time to test things, and then this provisioning this stuff, provisioning other things, and get access to the world. You can see the faces of the engineers just bloom, right? Because then that they can create, they feel like, man, I finally have with with all this new technology, cool technology on the cloud, access to things that it was not possible before, and on top of it, not only for my market, but actually to the world.
Yeah.
You see the reach of that?
I do indeed, because the thing is that I'm from that part of the world, right? I'm from Sweden. We have been in IT and tech since forever and always. Maybe fortunate to be in one of the countries that have been leading is a strong word, but definitely been in that game since all times. Back in those times, that was not the case at all for Guatemala. It was a different country, I bet. And you guys have, I mean, you're rapidly growing into this and delivering services on par with everyone else in the world, right?
That is correct. And once again, I mean, the cloud makes really close that gap, right? It's most like just not only compute as we see it today,
right?
It's really a digital bridge.
Yeah.
It's a really digital bridge, and you bloom into it.
Yeah.
I think it's in a space that will remain, and maybe we're talking about AI a lot, but I think it will not be enabled if we don't have a cloud. It will not have the power that we'll see today if we don't have a cloud. And then with all the AI, you still need that engineers.
You still need that.
You still need a lot of hardware that otherwise if we don't have a cloud, we won't be able to deliver from here.
That's right.
Right? It's super important.
No, you would not have been able to deliver that kind of services from here. The cloud is completely key there. I see that now. It's really not something that I think about every day, but it's a fascinating angle on this here. And so, what are you seeing now in terms of trends from your? I mean, you have customers from around the world, right? What are the latest trends in cloud? And I suppose it's AI a lot, I guess.
It is. But you know what? It's mostly first clean your house and clean your kitchen, I would say. If you might say
I understand that, yes.
And what we're doing really is really helping our customers, right? Because in the day-to-day business, you focus on what you have to deliver, right?
Yep.
And what we do is, all right, you know what, the heavy lifting, that technical depth that is out there, we'll take care of it.
Right.
So on the cloud, right? Governance on the cloud, right? How do we govern what's going into it? How do we process those things? On that engineering, right? Or pipes, is the pipes well constructed? Is the website well deployed?
Right.
Are we using the right structure to make those things easy? And what we do is you can see ourselves, and I will tell, the majority of Latin America, so I really would like to speak of the whole Latin America, not just how I globe.
Right.
That we are providing, right, support like, Europe, like United States, where you get the market right there, which we don't, and it's nature, nothing wrong with it. The market is right there, and you're focused on your market. You have to deliver for your market. What happened with it is that it creates that technical depth that eventually you have to pay those interests, right?
Right.
So we are the ones who are helping you to pay that debt in a good way, because we get good quality, good cost, which is important, and also I would say most important is the talent and the means, which is the cloud, to deliver that.
Oh, great! So we're discovering all kinds of things about Latin America today. I've had some wonderful visits to the countryside as well. I've sampled the food, and now we've talked about technology as well. Listen, I want to thank you for being on the Cloud Show today and sharing with the audience about what it's like to be in tech in Latin America. Thank you.
No, thank you, Magnus, for being here with us, and have this space, and looking forward to have many times. And the team in Europe, you're welcome to come here.
Absolutely, my friend. So thank you, audience, and I'll see you next time.